Hey guys, Sleepy Reader on the job. I want to just briefly mention, or not briefly, but I just want to chat about the rest of the comic books I bought this past Wednesday. Already talked about a few in my last video. But there was Wonder Woman 11, Saga number 5, Secret Service by Mark Millar and Dave Gibbons. And that was number 3. Fantastic Four 608, kind of the wrapping up of a 2-issue arc about the Black Panther and his nation of Wakanda, if I'm saying that right. And Batwoman number 11, which might be my cover of the week, but also my biggest disappointment of the week. This was supposedly the wrapping up of the arc. I put arc in quotes here because very little is wrapped up. After all the work that the writers made us do in following their excruciating back and forth timeline and moving about amongst characters, nothing really comes together, in my opinion, and very little is revealed. There is one kind of clever twist that happened at the end of Batwoman 10, but it wasn't enough to warrant all we went through and warrant 6 issues of hard work for the reading. The art wasn't bad. I think I liked Amy Reeder a little more than Trevor McCarthy, so the arc was split 3 issues each between those artists. Trevor McCarthy is a little more all over the place and maybe a little more less organic, more photoshopped, and Amy Reeder had a more organic feel. But it was okay. But it was just the writing, the story, it was all inconclusive in the end. And that would be annoying enough. But after all they put us through, I thought there was some brilliant or some big payoff to doing all that work, to following all these characters in and out of time. Maybe there was some emotional payoff just, because of the change in her relationship, but surely not enough for 6 issues. All of what really happened in this should have been compacted into about 2 issues, I think. So I am looking forward to the next arc because it has, here's issue 10 also. These 2 covers in this arc were the 2 done by J.H. Williams, and they're beautiful. And J.H. Williams is coming back on the art. And I just want more J.H. Williams art. So that's what's keeping me buying it. I'm looking forward to him doing Sandman, and maybe it would be nice if he just moved on from Batwoman. He's made his reputation doing Batwoman, but really when Greg Rucka was writing it. And I don't think he has anything more, or he and his co-writer, William Hayden Blackman, just don't seem to have a lot to say or a lot of ideas, so they're just stretching and stretching and stretching what they've got. So that's the big disappointment there. Fantastic Four 608 was a little bit of a letdown. The art was still beautiful, and the story wasn't terrible, but it was kind of inconclusive and felt like it was mostly a setup for things that are going to happen in Avengers versus X-Men. Which I already know about from other people's reviews, so it's already happened. So this is a little bit late anyway. And it establishes too much the sense of Wakanda being a country created on magic rather than on science, created on a pact made with gods thousands of years ago. And I'm unclear if Hickman intends us to believe these gods are physical, literal gods who are right there, like Thor and Odin in the Marvel Universe, or if they're still a little more metaphysical and ghostly. Because some of them are reached through taking drugs, but others just by climbing down a big black well. So, yeah, it's one of the weakest Fantastic Four of Hickman's run. If you're already reading Fantastic Four, you shouldn't skip it, but if you're looking for a Fantastic Four book to grab, this is not the one to do it with. Secret Service was a serviceable, decent issue. didn't have as much bang as the previous issues because it didn't have the really shocking opening scene that the first two did. It has an opening scene with someone making wacko claims about global warming really being Gaia's revenge on mankind. And I don't know what Mark Miller is trying to tell us there, if that's what he thinks or if he thinks it's a wacko idea. Sort of implying, well, that we can't do anything about global warming because Earth wants to wipe out the human race, so there we go. This cover is really cool. I love the design of these books, but this scene doesn't happen in the book. But there's plenty of cool, or there's enough cool James Bondish stuff, so that's fun. And then there's a lot of good stuff about the nephew Gary's training as a secret agent. It makes secret agent training seem a little bit silly, a little bit sick, a little bit intense. And by the end, it goes in a direction I wasn't expecting. So I'm interested to see what happens next. Despite the, slightly over-the-top secret agent stuff, this is pretty far away from the world of superheroes, and I like that. It is really about someone who's a bit of a screw-up. I was going to use the F word, but I'm trying not to do those things. So worth reading, especially if you read the first two issues. Saga, this is a very good issue. No gratuitous nudity this time, or gratuitous sexual positions. But all that's come before plays a strong role in what's going on here. And to me, this is the issue where the darkness lying behind everything becomes more apparent. I mean, this is a book about war, really, and its effects on everybody, the participants and the non-participants, and how it just rips apart life in the world. And all of the characters are deepened a bit, and the darkness is just showing more, although there's still plenty of that kind of flippant, fun stuff. But we are going into a darker direction. I don't know if I said about Batwoman, another thing, because I read, before reading issue 11, about a week ago, I read the entire rest of the run, issues 6 through 10, and along with just the annoying narrative structure, it was very difficult to take all the child killing, child drowning, child molesting, serial killers who like to gut people, and Killer Croc eating people, just evilness that was kind of overwhelming. And Saga was very good, but I also, part of me just wants some light fun in my comic books lately. So yeah, Fantastic Four gives you more than that. Wonder Woman, in a sense, is light fun, but light fun that you can take seriously. So this was my favorite book of the week. Remains one of my favorite series. I worry a bit about, with all of DC, if people are rushing to kind of wrap things up before the Zero issue, or the Zero issue is going to kind of interfere with arcs and throw things off. Although I certainly understand they need to do things like Zero issues, and they're better than huge crossover things to boost ratings. Like, I'd rather Zero issues than something like Avengers versus X-Men. But anyway, in this issue, we get a lot more fun with the Greek gods. I'm still not sure who this character is here. Oops. Is she like, which Greek god is she? But all the other Greek gods, anyway, I know who. Here's Demeter, who's kind of a nature goddess, I guess the goddess of seasons, I believe, or of spring. And she keeps changing shape, and that's really cool. And we get Artemis, who I think is also the same as Diana, is that right? She's the goddess of the moon. And we get the return of Apollo. And just more cool stuff, nice art. Everything's good here. So I don't have a lot to say about it. Just my favorite issue of the week. And it looks like everything may be coming to a head, although I'm not sure. Next issue, will they wrap it up in issue 12, or will the story just keep continuing? I'd love to see Wonder Woman continue this Greek mythology stuff, but maybe throw in her behaving a little more as a superhero also. A little more connection to the non-gods part of the world, what's going on Earth at the same time. Mix it up, that would be fun. But I love mythology, and this is going really well. So that wraps up my week in exciting new comics. I've got lots more I could be reading if I have time. Still working away at the Unwritten and other. I'm starting to read Journey into Mystery that I got in my haul from A Comic Book Mom and Rorschach's Journal. So, and I'm going to be going on vacation, a family trip to Maine for 10 weeks. 10 weeks, that would be great. 10 days, which is a pretty long vacation for me. So there'll be my whole family's gathering there, so I'm not sure how much time I'll have for reading, but I'm hoping to do a lot of extra reading during that time. So I look forward to talking to you all next video. Looking forward to everyone's videos. Chat to you later.